Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel, and welcome to the Friday LFC Focus Podcast. As you can see, we are a little bit short on numbers. The lovely Sophie is on her hen do, and Jack Mack is not with us, unfortunately. And Dan, not got a clue. I sent him the link, but we haven't heard anything from him, so I'm pretty sure he's running late anyway. But I'm delighted to welcome two fabulous guests. Long time I've actually spoken to this person. There's Mr. Steve Plunk. How are you doing, Steve?
Oh, good, mate. Good. Yeah, it has been a while, mate, since the grounded football days. But those things don't last forever, mate. So it's good to catch up with you again, have a bit of a chit chat. So yeah, thanks for having me on, mate. Appreciate it.
It's my absolute pleasure. And of course, I think he is probably the more regular on the podcast these days. Is Connor from the Kop Council. How are you, Connor?
I'm very good, thank you, mate. Does this mean I get next Friday off? No, I'm kidding. But looking forward to it tonight. Of course, we get to speak about battering one rival, and hopefully we're going to go and batter another rival. So yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Helen is in the chat. Hello, Helen. Hello, Liz. Hello, Sebastian. Just resting watching the Reds ruin Everton. I love a derby day, and this could be the last one for a while. We will obviously speak about that, won't we? Liverpool Everton Sunday in the Stockholm Derby. Oof, a very good Sunday. I hope. Sebastian, good evening. Hope you are good. Hello to Balam. If Everton lose on Sunday, and I think most expect they will lose, Frank's win percent will be 33%. Rafa was 31% on leaving. So you have to ask whether Frank's appointment has worked. Yeah, we will obviously get into the... I haven't sent him a link. I thought I did, Dan. Give me a wee minute. I'll send it for your Twitter, mate. My apologies. I thought I sent it through your phone. Sorry. My apologies, Mr. Daniel. I will get that shortly. Just let me do it. Hello, gang, by the way. Yeah, I'll get it to you. Jeez, that's bad. If AAK loses the derby, that would hurt my week even more. And hello to everybody as well. So we will now start off with talking about Liverpool 4, Manchester United 0. Yeah, Steve, no better feeling to absolutely smash the Manx, but how easy was that?
First of all, correct. No better feeling than smashing the Manx. 100%. I'm on board with that. Second thing is, on paper, that looks like a massive game. The stark reality is it isn't anymore. They're not rivals that we should be overly concerned about. So probably the most relaxed most Liverpool fans have ever been going into a United game, which tells you an awful lot about the levels between the two sides and how far behind they are. The game itself, obviously, it was a stroll. Thiago, 96% pass completion rate in the second half. They had no shots on goal in the first half and only 19 touches in the final third. So what we expected, they served up. I mean, I'm sure you would agree, and I'm sure Connor will get onto this when he speaks about it. When they put their team out, I just sat there laughing. Within 30 seconds, Phil Jones was blowing out of his backside like I would if I went and played in that game, mate. Because and he's a fair bit younger than I am, but they're poor. They're really poor, and this notion that they're going to sell 10 players and buy 10 players, who wants to buy their players on those contracts in that form? No one. So, brilliant win. And all's not rosy in the garden, and it won't change in 2 years. It might take 5 or 6.
Yeah, it could have easily been 6 or 7. Dan, I've sent you through your Twitter, mate. So if you go through to your Twitter, you'll be able to get the link. I do apologise sincerely. Anyway, but Connor, one person who has been dominating the headlines for that game was a certain number 6 of ours, Thiago Alcantara. Now, the Liverpool Echo gave Thiago a 10. Now, I've read so many newspapers over the years, and I've never seen people get a 10. How good was Thiago on Tuesday night?
Oh, he was immense, wasn't he? And he didn't even break a sweat. That's how good he was against Manchester United. As Steve's already said, 96% pass accuracy. That's unbelievable for a midfielder. Against supposedly your top rival that you expect to give you a game. And as Steve said, you looked at that United side and I could see what they were going for if it was the correct players, but you actually looked at the players and you're like, yeah, this is going to be a very long night for Manchester United. And of course, in the space of 4 minutes, we quickly showed, what we're capable of doing to a back five and, a Manchester United side that I don't even think Liverpool have had that. Not only the game at Anfield, the game at Old Trafford as well. I don't think Liverpool, as far as I can remember, I've had such poor performances against Manchester United throughout the season. It was just pathetic. It was totally pathetic. And like Steve said, I know that now Ten Hag's the new manager at Manchester United. It's going to take one hell of a job for them to even be considered in that bracket with us City and Chelsea. It's not only getting into the bracket with Liverpool and City. Of course, it's for United to get into that bracket with Chelsea, and they're miles off that.
Definitely.
As everyone will say tonight, it was an absolute pleasure and a joy to watch Liverpool batter Manchester United. I loved every single minute of it, and long may it continue as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, good evening, sir. I do sincerely apologise for not sending you a link. How are you, mate?
No, it's absolutely fine, mate. I just seen the WhatsApp saying, here's the link for tomorrow night, and never bothered looking at it. And then when I went to click on it, then obviously it wasn't there, but no problem, mate. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine.
Yeah, did you manage to see the Manchester United game?
Yeah, mate, yes, brilliant results, brilliant performance. Complete performance, wasn't it? Dominated from start to finish. I know they had a little 15 minutes or whatever spell, but I think that was just Liverpool trying to manage the game, and just sort of just slow it all down and not be too, crazy or whatever. And they sort of just let Man United get the edge. But as soon as they turned it back up again, it was back to 3 and 4-0, wasn't it? But yeah, brilliant, mate. Wonderful night.
Yeah, and a stat from that game which kind of says it all, Steve. Alisson Becker had more touches than the whole Manchester United midfield combined. Alisson Becker had 54 touches. The Manchester United midfield had 50.
Well, there you go. You're right. That tells you everything, doesn't it? He'd probably get a game in their midfield right now, to be fair, as well. It was the worst performance I've seen from an away team, Anfield, for a long time. There's not many teams that come to Anfield and give up 76% possession in the first half. So this idea that this is Manchester United, that they've got to stop saying, but we're Manchester United, because we got told not to say it in the 90s and the noughties when we weren't very good. They're not very good now.
Yeah.
But my comment midweek has been, I don't think in the 30 years we waited for a title, we were as bad as what they were the other night. I can't remember. Even under Roy Hodgson, I don't think we were as bad as that. Kenny Dalglish came in and we won a trophy that year. So it just needed a bit more tactical nous with the squad that was there. This United, Paul Pogba, it's come out today that he's got a calf injury and he won't play again all season. I just thought he spewed it because he'd had enough, because he thought, I'm not doing this. This is absolutely dross. I'm going. So I'll put on a limp and I'll get off and that's it. And he won't play for United again, and that's his career there done. But
yeah,
you could sit here all night, mate, and break down their team and look at it and think, no threat at all. How poor is that squad?
That's
really bad. Really bad performance.
Whoever, obviously we know that Erik ten Hag is coming in, Connor, but Jersey Boy, I've sent you a link, so just join the link I've sent you on Twitter. Anyway, but Connor, Erik ten Hag, he has got a massive, massive job on his hands at Manchester United. You actually have to look at that squad the other night, and the game was practically won from the first minute that Rangnick played a back five. Because when you play a back five against this Liverpool side, with Luis Diaz, with Sadio Mane, with Mohamed Salah, I actually said at the start of before the game, I said this is going to be absolute carnage, and it certainly was.
Yeah, no, it was 100%, mate. Look, if, like I said earlier, if their job was to stop Liverpool for as long as possible, it took us 4 minutes to break that 5 at the back. But for me, it wouldn't have mattered what United did against Liverpool. This Liverpool side at the minute is, of course, Aston City going for everything at the minute. But you look at it, I don't think anyone can stop us at the minute. I think there's plenty of people that, of course, we saw that City game and we had chances to win that and so on. But I think this United side, like I said earlier, are far from off of it. I think Manchester United, they've already declined Ten Hag's request to have an assistant manager that they're not happy with, or something like I saw earlier on today, which that's not a good start already for him. If they're already rejecting stuff that he wants, so that should be fun. But it's the fact that the whole club is broken from within its core. And I look at Liverpool, and many people will have their arguments with FSG and so on. But I look at our football club, and I look at everyone else, and I'm very much happy the way Liverpool are at the moment. And I just look and be grateful that the fact that, even though, of course, FSG got their wrong faults and so on, but then you look at that Manchester United, the whole of it, it's so rotten to the core, and it's going to take. Yes. I know we've mentioned the team itself. But it could take United, a 20 years to fix itself. Look at Liverpool. I don't think anyone, at 1990 thought that Liverpool would take 30 years to win another league title. Mm-hmm. Why is it now Manchester United are in the same boat? Of course, they've got money to throw at the ball, but quite clearly over the last 10 years, that hasn't won them a Premier League trophy. So, it could be another long wait for a big title at United, but they need to fix the in-structures first before they even think about managers and getting players in. Like Steve said, if they're seriously thinking they're going to sell 10 players and get 10 players in the summer, they are massively wrong, because that's never going to happen.
Yeah, no, not a chance that they sell 12 players. Jersey Boy, good evening. I have to say, from obviously before that Manchester United game, there wasn't really much build up to this game, and it's the first time I've actually gone into a Manchester United game where I'm like, I've no nerves at all. Like, you just knew what was going to happen.
I wasn't nervous. I don't think anyone was nervous about that game. Like, what I found surprising was in that 5-0 win, they actually had chances. I don't think Man United even attacked at all. They only had one attack the entire game.
Double save from Alisson, but I think at the end of it, there was a question about whether it would have been offside. He's got issues.
Yeah, we'll read some comments. Should have been more than 4. Yes. Liz Golden. We won 5-0. We won 5-0 at Old Trafford. We won 4-0 at Anfield. 9-0. That's the first time since the 1895/96 season where we actually beat them. I think it was 9-1. I think.
Sounds like you remember it well, Doug.
Yeah.
Sounds like you remember it well, mate.
7-1. 7-1 win over what was back then you called Newton Heath, of course. And I think it was a 2-0 win as well. Hi, Diego and Jersey Boy. Hey, Diego. Balam, I'll get to your Villarreal comments in a minute. Thiago's the Alonso replacement we've been waiting for a very long time. He's the best in the world. No disrespect to KDB, but Thiago this season has been on another level. Yeah, absolutely. Even Helen, Liz, good luck against Everton. Well, I believe you will win even without any luck. We'll see. We shall see indeed. Gary Richards, good evening. Hope you are good. 108 on FPL overall. Great week. Not just laughing at Man United and Chelsea losing to Arsenal. Yes, that as well. Chelsea lose 3 games in a row to Crystal Palace, Brighton and Southampton, and then go to Chelsea and play them off the park and win 4-2. The Premier League, ladies and gentlemen, the Premier League, indeed. Jersey Boy, you're back. We're just obviously speaking about Manchester United. This is going to take time. This is going to take them time to get back into a rhythm of trying to compete for the big trophies, isn't it?
I think it's going to take 10 years also. And the main reason I'm saying 10 years is because the players they have right now do not care. Like, just by looking at that game, like, they were jogging. They weren't running. No one cared. Maguire, I think, is the worst I've seen someone spend £80 million on. The guy was playing like a midfielder the entire game. I'm sorry, he was absolutely dreadful. I just think they need players that really want to play for the badge, and they don't have that. And, Rashford had one chance. His touch is awful. It is ridiculous. And I think Ten Hag needs to get the players he wants. I think it's vital for them that they keep Van de Beek, because I think Van de Beek will be perfect under Ten Hag. But it's going to need time. They need multiple transfer windows. They need a team that will fight for the shirt, and I think it will take a long time. I think they will win trophies in the next 10 years, not big ones, like a Carabao Cup or something like that. But to go for the big trophies, it'll take them 10 years, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hello to Brian Morrissey. Not seen you for a wee while. Hope you are good, and also good evening to Ankit, big Almighty Blues FC as well. Liz Golden says Alisson Becker is awesome. Manx suck. I've never seen Liverpool this good and the Manx so poor. No, I haven't either. There's a whole to talk MU as well. The real score is difficult to know in truth. It's something like 5-1 United. I think Andrew Williams is trying to find some positives out of that as well. Liverpool to get the 2 wins. As much as hate not to see the holders of the UEFA Champions League not in there still, you're a joint favourites along with City, in my opinion. As Liz says, hit that like button and share the stream, folks, as well. But yeah. If the Manchester United game was an absolute, well, I would say walk in the park, but another stat that really impressed me as well. Dan, I can't remember the last time a Liverpool side had 70+ possession against Manchester United.
No, mate, it's unheard of, isn't it? It was, I think, as we've all said so far, it was the worst Manchester United performance we've seen, isn't it? In a very long, probably ever, really, that I could ever remember them turning up at Anfield. The guys on commentary, Gary Neville and Carragher, both alluded to the fact that, there was often times over the last 30 years or whatever, Manchester United have always been on top of Liverpool. But Liverpool generally, even though we've been a lot weaker than them, sometimes a little bit better than them, but generally weaker than them, we've always generally put up a fight. There was, as Gary Neville said, there was 1-4-0 where Hippier got sent off in the first minute and United got a pen and they won 4-0. But other than that, they were always tighter games. There was a few 3-2s and whatever else. We always put up some sort of fight, even if we lost. And occasionally we get up, plucky win or a good win. But yeah, they were awful, wasn't they, on Tuesday night? Unbelievable, really, what's happened to them. I'm not 100% sure, but you say it's 10 years or this, that, and the other. I'll wait and see on that. United with their commercial revenue are always going to be able to punch and buy some big players. And if they get the decisions right, 1 or 2 players can make a big difference. So we'll wait and see. I'd love it to be 10 years, love it to be a lot more, but it all just depends on how successful the windows are over the next couple. As I say, 1 or 2 decent players can be the catalyst. We've seen that when they signed Fernandes. They were 11th in the league when they signed them. He shot up to 3rd and then 2nd. This season it's fell away again. But as I say, 1 or 2 decent signings can shoot it up and sort of revitalise the rest of the team. But I would love it to be 10 years, as I say.
Carlos Pillo's dad threatened to disown him if he didn't show any effort during his Barcelona trial. You'd wonder what the current United players' motivations are. Yeah. I like Ralph Rangnick's He comes out very, very honest. No bullshit. He just comes out very, very honest. And, he is going upstairs to sort of a consultancy role at the end of the season, but the players have stopped playing for him. You can quite clearly see it, can't you?
And you wonder why, and then you think about it, and the players go, okay, so we've got 6 more games under this manager, and then he's gone. So why would they play for him? Manchester United in recent years has all been about mismanagement of Paul Pogba in terms of letting him go out for 900k, and then buying him back for 90 million, and then he's going to go again on a free. Mismanagement of managerial recruitment.
Yeah.
Whilst Ralph Rangnick is an honest guy and speaks well, has he improved United in the time he's been there? No, I don't think he has.
No.
You've got to remember they finished second last year. They might end up in the Europa Conference League this year, which would be hilarious, by the way. And we should dine out on that forever if that happens. But they've got, and I get the point that was made prior to me about one or two signings with their commercial revenue. Who's going to buy Fred on 200 grand a week? Nobody. So it's about shifting the bodies to bring in the bodies, if you know what I mean. So it would be difficult to move these players. They've got a few going out on free transfers at the end of the year. And obviously Ronaldo will do what he wants to do. But Rangnick going upstairs smacks a little bit of Evans Houllier because there might be a little bit of conflict between the two of them as to what they want to do. The idea is that Rangnick was supposed to dictate how Manchester United were going to play football going forward. Well, the move to bring in Ten Hag is very much flies in the face of that because he's got his own footballing philosophy. And you can only play that footballing philosophy if you've got the right players to do it. So it might take a period of time to, like with Klopp, Klopp's game plan now doesn't include the likes of Joe Allen, Adam Lallana to some extent, John Flanagan and players, Dejan Lovren. Those are guys you've got to move. We've been through the high contracts, long contracts, nobody wants your players scenario. Daniel Agger was great for us. We had him in 3 transfer windows and nobody came in for him and we ended up giving him away. Now, right or wrong, that's the environment Manchester United find themselves in that nobody wants their players because if you're a manager, Doug, if you're looking at Man United now, you need a job to be done and you look at them and you think, can I trust him? As a manager, you can't trust that group of players, can you?
No.
So no one's coming knocking on the door with 40, 50 million quid for Fred. The likes of Lingard and players like that will leave pretty cheaply. But to get them back on the sort of upper echelons of the Premier League, it's some serious investment because to do what Liverpool and City are doing hasn't been done before by anybody. So that gap is a massive, massive gap. And there's no guarantee anybody's going to come from the pack and challenge us until the managers leave, and then we have to reinvent ourselves.
Yeah, it's how big a club like Manchester United has completely fallen. And yeah, one day they will be back. But big rebuild, it has to be said. But let's talk about the goals, shall we? I'm actually going to talk about the second goal, Connor. Is that the best goal we've seen under our Jurgen Klopp Liverpool side?
Probably, yeah. I think the only one that I can think about is probably the one that we scored against City when we lost in 18-19. That's the only thing I can really compare it to. And as well, just the vision as well by Sadio Mane. If you watch it, he doesn't even look at Mo Salah. He just knows where he is. And just the technique to just have the spin on the ball. And it's perfect for Mo as well. It's not even that Mo has to adjust or anything like that. It's just simple touch, bottom corner. And that's the style of football Liverpool are playing now. And it's a tremendous rate. And it's glorious to see. And I'll say to each and every single person, value this time of Liverpool playing this football now, because it won't be here forever, sadly. Of course, I'd like it to be here forever. But yeah, like all the goals, though, it wasn't one goal that you could say was dodgy. All of them were tremendous goals. But Liverpool make it simple. That's how we do it these days. So, but yeah, brilliant link-up play, and yeah, probably one of the best goals in the Klopp, maybe the best.
And only Virgil van Dijk didn't even touch the ball. It was only Virgil van Dijk in that period of passes that didn't touch the ball. Quite incredible. And yeah. But that was a brilliant goal. Jersey boy, the first goal. What on earth is Harry Maguire doing? Phil Jones looks like he completely ran out of puff as well. And it's a simple finish for Luis Diaz.
It's crazy, right? What I find is absolutely mental is I watched United versus Wolves. The only player in that, when they lost in that 1-0 game, the only player that walked off that pitch with heart was Phil Jones. And I don't know why they played the back five. I think they wanted to try and just, I think Rangnick was go for a draw. I think they were going for a draw and it didn't work. I've seen this so many times, Maguire. he is so far up the field. Like the whole back five is supposed to stay in the box and stop them scoring.
Mm-hmm.
The defense aren't even anywhere near Salah and Diaz for the goal.
No,
like they're more in midfield than in defense. And I don't know. Maguire is one of the worst defenders I've seen in a very, very long time. And for 80 million, you could buy a lot of stuff for 80 million, and you bloody get a fridge instead. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was very, very poor defending. But to be fair, he had an absolutely torrid night. But actually, the actual player that actually had a really torrid time was Diogo Dalot. But Dan, the third goal, lovely finish from Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane, for me, is in very, very good goal scoring form.
Oh, mate, undoubtedly, and I mean, he's been banging them in, to a decent level all season, I think. But he's come back from the AFCON. He's moved into this sort of new false nine position, and he started scoring goals for fun, hasn't he? It seems to have revitalised him a little bit. I did say last season I thought the death of Sadio Mane was being a bit it's over the top. A lot of people on social media saying he thought he was finished and all that, and he was COVID-riddled. He'd never been the same player. And I just put it all down to last season being a bit of a car crash for everybody, really. And this season he's come back, he's banging the goals. He's third top scorer in the league. But as I say, Carragher summed it up. He played on the right when he first came in. He's played on the left when Salah came in. He's played through the centre, and he looks absolutely dynamite up top, doesn't he? So, yeah, brilliant. And it was a lovely, lovely goal. Lovely finish. I mean, first time, full of confidence, left foot, took it right in the corner. Beautiful finish.
It was. And Steve, Mo Salah, definitely back to his very, very best. Lovely finish for the fourth goal. But I don't know what Hannibal Mejbri was doing for that goal.
What was he doing for the entire time he was on the pitch, apart from flattening people and looking to win himself a car? Yeah, and do you know what? They bigged him up, haven't they, since then? Oh, he showed spirit, he showed heart.
Ludicrous. Yeah,
he should play every game for the rest of the season. He's just like Hamza Chowdhury in the Man United shirt, really, when you look at what he did the other night. The fourth goal was the movement was brilliant, and a little chip over the top from Moran. And he's back, and that spells trouble for the rest of them, because recent weeks what he's done is take players away from the attack. So you give him the ball, two players go to him, he slides it inside, it opens up space for others. Now he's got the eye for goal, and it was very telling, the look on his face when he scored, and his celebration was kind of like a massive wave of relief came over him that normal service was resumed. He'll get 30 goals this season. He'll go on and do that now. But to be fair, mate, similarly to the Mane thing, I think, players go through bad spells and they come out of it. He's still Mo Salah. He's still absolutely electric. He's still dangerous. I think what was telling for the first goal is 2 weeks ago, he takes that on and tries to beat the keeper himself. Yep. But he had the sort of capacity to look up and pick a better option. And then he gets his goal, or both his goals. So, long may it continue. He's coming into both of him and Mane and Diaz and Jota. And, you never thought you'd talk about 4 or 5 Liverpool players that score goals for fun, but we've got them. We've all run into form at exactly the right time of the season. When the business end comes, those guys will contribute to who gets the pots of silver at the end of the season, and hopefully there's a few more coming our way.
Yeah, definitely. Connor, was Keita lucky to be on the pitch, do you think?
If you're asking, it's a red card. No, it's not. I think it's unfortunate the way Keita's foot's gone down. If you look at it, Keita's gone to step in front of the ball, and then I can't remember who it was, slid in.
Lingard, I think.
Yeah, might have been, but no, I don't think it was a red card. And I've seen plenty of United fans going on about that. Oh, he should have been sent off. Liverpool could have had 8 men on the field, and United still wouldn't have scored. It's that laughable, but no, I don't think it should have been a red card. No.
Mane is really under a big game player. I think he's equally, if not even much more of a big game player than Salah. Interesting. Maguire should lose the captain's armband. This will send a message to the squad. There is talk that he could be dropped for the game against Arsenal tomorrow. Whether that makes a difference is another matter. Maguire literally set him up with that pass before the fourth goal. Fourth goal was not Hannibal's. Oh, Maguire that's right as well. Manchester United have 4 of the top 6 most expensive transfers in Premier League history. Maguire, Sancho, Pogba, and Lukaku. Lukaku is the second and 6th most expensive. Jesus. Jersey boy, Pogba. Looks like that'll be his last game as a Manchester United player. He has injured his calf. What better way to basically go off after 10 minutes at Anfield?
I've seen so many people claim that he faked an injury and was like, I can't do this, I'm off. But I don't think so. I think he was actually injured. See, I hope he's not injured for too long because I need him for the World Cup for France. But he's like, even with him on the field, he's not making an impact for United. I just don't think he really cares anymore. He's off. I don't know where he's going to go off to, if Madrid want him or PSG or whatever. But I just think United, he's not bothered anymore. And and I think with him or without him on the pitch, they were not making really. At the beginning of the season, he got 9 assists, but other than that, he's done nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to answer Liz's question, I do actually have an Everton preview. It is a 8:30. It will be with Tom May. So if you've seen Tom in the chat before, it will be with him. So that should be interesting. He's all the way in sunny Greece, so that should be very, very interesting. Lukaku has flopped, sadly. Yeah, Lukaku has definitely flopped. How shouldn't we give him the armband in the first place? Nope. No, they both weren't in work. Yes, should have gone. Mason Mount red against Arsenal. Yes, for me, I think that was a red card. I think that was a red. I absolutely think that was a red. That makes sense. But hey, Lukaku going to score versus United Old Trafford next Thursday. Man, going to find that Inter Milan form versus United. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me, would it, Dane? Wouldn't have affected the scoreline or result, but should have gone. United could have played until Christmas and they'd still be looking for a goal. Yeah. Absolutely. And I thought what was very, very lovely, though, Dan, in the 7th minute, everyone in Anfield stood up and applauded for Ronaldo.
Yeah, and only what he deserved, mate, wasn't he? He's a class act. I mean, he's a rival. He's not an enemy, even though he plays for Manchester United. I always like to say that, and he's the least of what he deserved. I mean, yeah, there's not really else you can really add to that, was there?
Yeah. Pogba was an underwhelming transfer. Wish him all the best. Yeah, definitely. Pogba's main issue at United has been injuries. Yeah, it's almost 200 million between United and Chelsea. Is that Lukaku? Jesus, that is awful. Be kind to Tom. He's 29 now, wasted his best years at United. Hats off Liverpool crowd. If it wasn't for a wonky fax machine, David De Gea would have been at Madrid 3 years ago. Yeah. I thought the 7th minute applause was a touch of class. Shame about some of the yes. We won't get into that. Anyway, but I don't actually have a banner for this, but we actually did beat Manchester City by 3-2 at Wembley. And Steve, fast start, 3-0 in front. Do you think, though, that City having that really, really big test in Atletico, not being able to rotate, and with us being able to rotate against Benfica, do you think that was a bit of a difference?
Of course, obviously, again, when they put the side out and you've got Zinchenko, Nathan Ake, Fernandinho, and the goalkeeper playing, you think to yourself, well, if there's going to be a time, this is it. Was it a little bit of Guardiola deciding which of the tournaments that are left that he wants to major in? Perhaps a little bit of that. The way we started, they could have had everybody playing and they wouldn't have been able to live with us. I've said for a long time, when we're as good as we can be, no one lives with us, and that includes Manchester City. So brilliant first half. We're doing this thing at the moment where at some point in the game we drop off to conserve energy. It invites people back into the game. And 3-2 looks really close, but their second goal's in the 94th minute. So and then we have 90 seconds of sheer panic, don't we? But I think that's the blueprint against them to be at them. I think in the first game in the league, we were too passive and the midfield was too deep and too far away from the front line, and you're hitting 60-yard balls into Salah, who's man-marked by Aymeric Laporte, who's quick, bigger than him to win the aerial battles, and is a good defender in his own right. So tactically, we were much better, and I think the inclusion of a slightly further thinking midfielder and someone like Keita gives us a lot more options, because it stops Manchester City pushing up and having their centre halves playing on the halfway line, because when they do that to you, you're in trouble. But brilliant performance to get through that. It will have Pep Guardiola scratching his head in front of the telly every night, because that's what he does. He will be worried about us. I'm concerned that it could be a Liverpool City Champions League final, which is one you dare not lose. So that with that comes a whole load of pressure.
Yeah, definitely. But the game itself, Connor, I mean, obviously going into a 3-0 lead, Konate, 3 goals in 3 games. Pretty impressive.
Well, he's a man in form at the minute, isn't he? I think someone said it in the chat. I think only Ibu has got a better goal scoring ratio at the minute in the last few games, other than Sadio Mane. But it again, it just shows, what is he, 22, and he's very, very good right now, and he still has plenty of years, of course, to become even better, which is kind of scary as well. But I think what massively separated this from the City game in the league, I think if Liverpool had lost that, of course, we would have been 4 points away from it. I think knockout style Liverpool is a completely different Liverpool. Someone that has nothing to lose. Similar, we'll see in the Champions League, hopefully against Villarreal, and we'll speak about that in a little bit. But I think what Liverpool in the league is a lot different to Liverpool in like a Champions League or an FA Cup, where we'll just go for the jugular straight away. And look, Liverpool have been better at managing games. I think that was it. Like Steve said it perfectly. Liverpool are 3-0 up. You don't have to go at them. We did that too much, I think, in 17-18, where we'd go at it from minute 1 to minute 90, and we'd end up losing games like 4-3 and 3-2. And Liverpool have got better at doing that, of course, over the last 3, 4, 5 years. So I do think Liverpool are a different animal in cup competitions. And I think, look, we spoke about it, I think, last week, but Naby Keita, when he's fit, he's one of the best midfielders in Liverpool's team. Look, I love Jordan Henderson, but he offers something massively different in terms of the pressing. We've seen it against Manchester United, against Manchester City as well. And you look at maybe the game against Villarreal, maybe he might start that in that as well. So I don't know, but either way, I look at it, and Liverpool in knockout competition is frightening. And I agree with Steve. It does look like a Liverpool City final on the face of it now. Hoping Madrid can beat them, because I'd like to get revenge on Madrid, but to be honest, I don't care. Get past Villarreal first, and then of course we'll speak about the final then in the coming weeks. Yeah,
definitely. Jersey Boy is now our strongest midfield. Fabinho, Keita, and Thiago.
I've said that to Ryan. I said that is 100% our best team. Our best midfield. Obviously, I wanted Henderson to start versus United because of the experience, but we've seen them three. Look, they've really got the creativeness, which I really like to see. And for years we've been lacking a creative midfield, and I think Naby Keita and Fabinho and Thiago is perfect, but it's depending if you start all 3 of them. And I think, I don't even know if you will even play on Sunday, but I'd love to see it happen. And but yeah, I think that's our 3 best midfielders. I think that midfield pairing, if Keita stays fit, has to be our midfield going forward.
Yeah, definitely. And Dan, I mean, we saw in the league game that Ederson almost allowed the ball to go over the line. Jota was the one that was closing down on him. Zach Steffen wasn't so lucky when he tried the same thing, and Mane slid in and it went in the back of the net.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it, mate? Well, Mane did one of them earlier in the season, didn't he, against Brighton, and was unlucky not to get the goal then. It just spun off his hand and went in, and obviously got rightly disallowed. But Yeah, brilliant. Getting that one. It's always a bit dubious, isn't it, when you change your keeper? So give us a big advantage. And yeah, obviously with City playing out so much on the back and that you need a good keeper there. And obviously this fella's come unstuck, hasn't he? So it's a big boost for us. Yeah, good goal. And Mane, he's good at going in for them, and he's got that little bit of speed, hasn't he, to get them. So it's good.
Yeah, definitely. This Fab Naby Thiago midfield he's been rolling out lately has worked very well so far. It certainly has. Lewandowski, another example of an Asian player doing very well. Emery masterclass inbound. I think your best three is Henderson, Fabinho, and Thiago. I think you might see that tomorrow. Sunday potentially against Everton, and I think that Keita will probably come back in for the game against Villarreal as well. Jersey boy based in the Channel Islands can't place his accent. No, you're not placing the Channel Islands, are you?
Nowhere near.
First leg's at Anfield, Dane. First leg is at Anfield. As well. Pepe at 38, still superb as well. Thiago, Fabinho, Keita, saucy midfield, certainly is. Liverpool going to kill off the game in the first. Well, we will come on to that because there is another big game to talk about. The biggest Merseyside derby in recent years, Steve, potentially. Liverpool going for the title, but Everton are looking over their shoulders because Burnley beat Southampton by 2-0 the other night, which leaves them 1 point above the relegation zone. So my question to you is, are they potentially going to get relegated?
Yeah, because when Sean Dyche got relieved of his duties, everyone kind of looked at it and went, wow, with 8 games left to go in the season, what are you doing? And somehow they managed to get a bit of new manager bounce with the guys who are doing it at the moment. So they've taken 4 points from 6. Everton could be in the bottom 3 if results go against them this weekend. And we've long said about Liverpool and all of the top sides that winning becomes a habit. Well, so does losing. And Everton have got the habit of losing at the moment. Okay, they beat Manchester United, but listen, they've rolled over for Manchester United year after year after year and given them the stock 3 points to stop us from doing things. That's the way we Liverpool fans perceive it. So it was balancing the books a little bit by Man United. Yeah. Really nothing to play for. It was a poor game to watch. I watched the game. It was an absolutely terrible match, that game. Everton are in very, very real danger of going out the back door into the Championship. And if they do, there's no guarantee they come back first time of asking, because they've got a number of players who will turn into prima donnas and won't want to play. You can't imagine Richarlison being delighted about going to Huddersfield on a Thursday night, can you, in the pouring rain? That's not what he came to English football for. So there's no guarantee. And they're going to spend £200 million on a brand new stadium for the Championship. So things don't look great at the moment, do they? So not that I'm enjoying it much. I've got a lot of good friends who are Evertonians, but the mass majority of their fan base is quite toxic. So I wouldn't miss that, to be honest with you. I wouldn't miss the animosity between the clubs, which is sad to see because it wasn't always like that. But yeah, they're in big trouble, mate. Big trouble. And Lampard's never been in this position before. So what experience does he have to call on?
Yeah, and that's just it, Connor. Frank Lampard's has never been in a relegation battle in his life. I don't think he's ever been in one with West Ham. Or if anyone in the comments can tell me, obviously correct me if I'm wrong there. But just the games that you just see for Everton, Liverpool away, Arsenal away in the final day of the season, they're going to have to rely on their home games if they want to stay out of this, because Burnley are picking up momentum when they need it.
Yeah, massively. Like we've said on plenty of other shows, Everton's home form is so crucial for them staying up into the Premier League. I think what else is worrying for Everton as well, I personally can't see Frank Lampard being a Championship manager. I think he's that much of an arrogant manager already, that the fact he won't go down to the Championship, he'd rather leave Everton and not have a job, and then that's my personal opinion. I don't think he would go down with the Championship with Everton, which again, then if that was to happen, they'd have to find someone else and rebuild there. But the big worry for me is if Everton did go down I think they might go down again, similar to Wolves, because but it's like that. Wolves, obviously, they come up to the Premier League Championship. They're too big for the Championship. They were a pretty decent side back then, but then they went back down. But they regrew themselves, and I think that's what Everton need. You look at it, just, I know FFP is a big thing with Everton at the minute, and just everything in the club is just, as Steve said, it's just toxic. We've got, Tom as a friend, Rye as well, and they just say when things go bad, it's bad because everyone lets you know. And I don't know, it's going to be interesting if they can get, I think, maybe one more win at home. Then I think that might be okay for them. But again, you look at those fixtures and you're like, where are the points coming from? Because I know pretty much all of us said when Sean Dyche got sacked from Burnley, is this a stupid time to get rid of him? But it looks like it worked. It looks like they've got the reaction that they wanted. And for Everton, that's not good.
Yeah, George Kell says Everton are getting relegated. I'm so torn about the relegation battle. On one hand, I absolutely fucking hit Burnley with a passion. On the other hand, Everton going down would be the apex of hilarity. Yeah, it would definitely. Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester, Watford, Brentford, Palace, Arsenal, Everton might actually go. Is that Everton's? Wow. So out of those games, Jersey Boy, how many points do you see Everton picking up?
3. Watford. I think they beat Watford and that's it.
Wow.
Because I think Watford are down. They're gone. So I think Watford will just. I think Everton probably stick a 1-0 last minute or something. But I can see them losing every other game. Maybe a shock win against Chelsea, because Chelsea have been so poor. But I can't see it. I can't see it. I think only 3 points.
Yeah, I think the 3 home games are Chelsea, Brentford, Palace, I think. And then the away games are Liverpool, Leicester, Watford, and Arsenal. That's very, 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 very tricky. But Dan, you've got a different sort of opinion on the relegation battle, don't you?
Yeah, I think Everton will stay up. I do. I really do. From a lot of Everton fans, and I speak to a lot of them, obviously living up here. They're quite down. I don't know whether the signers are crying out or whatever, but they're like, "Oh, we're doomed." But they basically from now on to the end of the season, they've got to match Burnley for points, haven't they? That's it. That's all they've got to do to stay up. They're always capable, Goodison Park, under the lights, of pulling out an absolute bonkers win. They've done it. How many times they've done it this season? Arsenal was bonkers. Man United the other day. Newcastle, when they were down to 10 men. Under the lights, anything can happen once they get them crowd behind them, mate. And I looked at Burnley last night, or whenever it was, and they won, but the ground was half empty. And I just think them home game. I would not rule them out beating Chelsea, and I wouldn't rule them out winning the other 2 home games. Who was against Brentford? Was it against Brentford and Crystal Palace?
Brentford and Crystal Palace. Well, Brentford are already safe for me, and Palace can just plan for next season. So
yeah. they're going to have to flip flops on. Do not underestimate Everton getting 3 wins from there, and then what was it? Watford away. They'll fancy winning that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Listen, if I was putting money on it, I wouldn't say they'd beat Chelsea, but I wouldn't rule it out. But I think they'll get the other 3 wins there, and that'll probably be enough to keep them up, I'd say, from this stage.
Yeah, Steve, Connor, do you agree with that?
Go to Connor first. Just want to have a look at the league table, mate. Just want to check something about that. So.
You know what? I'm just checking their form table, and it just doesn't look good, does it? I think. See, Watford away. It's one of those, isn't it? It depends on whether or not Watford show up or not. But it does depend on who else has things to play for. And realistically, throughout those teams, you look at Liverpool, Chelsea as well. I just think it's just a few points for Everton. We've been honest, like I said, if they win 1 home game, I think they're okay. But then it's also like what Dan said, if they just match what Burnley do, it's okay. But I don't know. I just think Burnley, we've all hated Burnley since last season in particular. But again, I just think they have that something they'll just avoid relegation. And I think that's what they'll do. I think they'll get through and Everton get relegated.
I mean, just looking at that, they've got 29 points in 31 games, and we've had a look at the fixtures. And it's been said they'll get as many as 8 points from those fixtures. Well, with 6, 7 games to go, a side that gets 29 points from 31 games doesn't really smack me as a side that's going to go and get 7 or 8 points from 6 fixtures. They're not even getting a point a game at the moment. Yeah. I think Dan's exactly right. What they've got to do is match Burnley's performances to stay up. And their hope is that they can be better than Burnley in the remaining fixtures. And that's not a great indictment of their season, really, is it?
No.
The difference being at the moment is Burnley have got a bit of a kind of a wind in their sails at the moment, and there'll be a bit of self-belief there at the moment. And I'm not sure you could say the same about what's happening at Everton. So, but Goodison is a hard place to go to. Every ex-pro that ever speaks about Goodison says it's a hard place to go. When it's not a hard place to go is when the crowd are on top of the home side, and we've seen a lot of that this year. That they've been really, really putting their own team under pressure, and prior to Rafa going, and in recent weeks, if you've ever watched the game live, it's not a great atmosphere that's coming out of there until they go in front, and then as Dan says, they get behind the team. But it's a flip of a coin with them too. It really is. You can't pick it. But we could see Everton go. We could see Everton get relegated, which is nuts because they've got the second longest run in the Premier League of all the sides. Them and Arsenal. But it just goes to show nobody is too good to go down, are they?
Yeah, that's true. George Kell says Lampard is like the albatross around the neck of every club he manages. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. I'm desperate to see them go down. They betrayed their roots employing a Tory. Yep, I would agree with that. Big up the ancient mariner reference from George. Lampard should probably do what a lot of ex-players do who fail in management and go full-time into punditry. I would agree with that. Keehan, cough, Neville. Never said players over 30, but shit, but you keep naming players. I was just making a joke about Pogba. Pogba wasting his time. Maximum of 7 points from those games. I think maybe 5 or 6 at most. Dan Teller, yes. Which won't be enough with Burnley making their usual Indiana Jones escape. Oh, God. I'm not going to say... If anyone has seen the video that I tried to do an American accent earlier, it was pretty bad. Actually, it was yesterday with Jamie Phillips. Let's just say I didn't do very well. So, yeah. Liz says, hit the dang like button, please, and thank you. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I haven't played Arsenal and United. What would you say was the difference playing them? Ooh. Well, United are absolutely awful. So if Arsenal don't win tomorrow, then I think you can forget all 4 if you don't beat United. United were just terrible. Never laid a glove on Liverpool. Arsenal actually gave more effort against Liverpool than United did. So I'd have to say, Man United should be an example because the players completely down tools. Will Vieira even allow that kind of attitude, though? No, I don't think so. Palace and Serial beachers this time of the year. Has this guest watched Everton this season? They have no bottle. They absolutely stink. Hope you're all having a lovely night, panel and chat. Hope to come back on the show soon enough in the future. Yeah, Jack, not a problem, my friend. Hope you are okay and everything is going well. Just me and my man tonight going to be a regular thing on Fridays. That's fine. See that Diogo was talking about Bellingham again. Apparently, some former ex-LFC player privately said Bellingham to Liverpool will happen. I think we'll get him in payment structure. I'd like Bellingham. I would like Bellingham, but I don't think we will, if I'm being honest. So it is definitely...
Apparently we've inquired about him. But Dortmund's view is they are resigned to the fact they're going to lose Haaland in the summer. They're not keen to lose both of them.
Yeah.
If it's going to be anything, it'll be in 2023. When maybe they come down in an estimation as well. Because I think at the minute they've got it at 100 million euros at the minute, which Liverpool not going to pay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's true. If Arsenal lose to United, Spurs beat Brentford, top 4 is over. Unless Arsenal get a result from the North London Derby, wouldn't even count United because we ain't beating Arsenal and Chelsea. And Keane, exactly. So I look at this game, Connor. Do you see any changes from the game against Manchester United? Because I have to say, I would probably wrap Thiago in cotton wool for Villarreal.
I wouldn't, personally. I think, first of all, slap Divock Origi up front, just for the fun of it, because he'll just batter Everton anyway.
Yes.
But no,
that would be nice.
I think it'll be probably 3 changes. I don't think you'll see massive rotation now. It might be a Kanate for a Matip. It might be a Tsimikas for a Robbo. I don't think there's much quality drop off from the both of them. You know, every single time Kostas has been called upon this season, he's been excellent whenever he's been called upon. And then, of course, then I know Jurgen's mentioned it a couple of times, but Bobby, hopefully his foot injury will be okay. I think he said if it is, you'll be involved. So I think he'll start. Jota as well, maybe. But I think maybe if we're 2, maybe 3 up around 60 minutes, I think that's when you'll see rotation again. I think that's what you'll see. You might see Hendo coming off, maybe Fabinho, Thiago. I think 2 out of the 3 of them might come off to keep fresh for Villarreal. And then, of course, we've got plenty of options, haven't we? Everyone's fit, more or less. So I'm happy with whoever starts against Everton. But yeah, I think it'll just be 3 or 4 changes against the Ev.
Yeah, Jersey boy, what team would you go with?
I've got the exact same team that started against United. I think no changes. I don't think you'll make a single change because I'm expecting Ibu to start against Villarreal and maybe Kate to come in. But I think we make change because we take this game very seriously. I don't think he's going to be thinking about Villarreal. He's going to be going game by game and going, this is the game. We can't afford any loss whatsoever or draws, because then City will capitalise because they've got Watford, which they easily cruise through. So we need to take it very seriously. And I think no changes. But as Connor said, let's say we're 2-0 up or 3-0 up at half time, for example. I say make two changes at half time. I think he'll do changes early if we're in a comfortable position. But I just think take the game very, very seriously. But I think no changes whatsoever.
Interesting, Dan.
Yeah, I'm a bit like Connor. I mean, I'm not really. The squad's so strong at the moment. So I'm not really worried about what change he make. I think he definitely will make some changes, though. I think with the game on Tuesday and then another game, obviously this midweek coming, I think you've got to protect a couple of players. Got no problem with Tsimikas coming in. Could see that one. Could also see obviously Kanate coming back in. He's tended to play Kanate more in the Champions League, hasn't he? But obviously with Massa playing on Tuesday, you sort of feel like that's going to be the rotation for this weekend now. But we'll wait and see. I certainly would have also, as Connor said, no problem with Divock Origi coming in as well. But we'll wait and see. And I think Jota will definitely start as well. And Naby probably come back into midfield.
Yeah, definitely. Mitchell's going for his team. I think he meant Ali. Tsimikas, Kanate, Van Dijk, Gomez, Curtis Jones, Hendo. You've put Curtis Jones in the twice there. Jota, Diaz, Salah. That's sort of similar to what I would go. I would go Ali, probably Trent, Tsimikas, Kanate, Van Dijk, and then I would probably go Fabinho, Thiago, Hendo, and then probably Diaz, Salah, Mane. I would probably go with that. So predictions, what are we going to go for? Because I'm going to say this now. I think if we get an early goal, I think it'll be a bit like the game against Manchester United, where I think we scored early, their heads just completely drop. Their heads completely drop whenever they concede. So for me, I'm going 4-0. Steve?
They'll work really hard for 20-25 minutes to prove to themselves they can compete. The quality will get to them, and I think we'll run out 3-0 winners, mate.
Connor?
Yeah, absolutely agree with Steve. But I'm going to go 4-0.
4-0.
Can't see Everton scoring.
Can't either. Jersey boy?
I won't be different. I'm going 3-1. I think Everton do score, but I think it'll be like very, very, very late. I think it'll be like we'll be comfortable. Someone will not pay attention, and Demarai Gray will score off the bench. But I think it'll be like a consolation like the last second. So I think a comfortable 3-1.
And Mr. 1-1?
No, I'm not going for 1-1 for this one, mate. No, I'll go 2-0. I think Steve's right. The games I've seen of Everton play recently, they seem to come out in a bit of a frenzy for the first 20 odd minutes. But yeah, the quality will show, and I think it'll be 2-0. I think Liverpool will get into a lead. And then they'll just do what they've been trying to do, of just sort of shutting the game down and closing it off, and be thinking about midweek against Villarreal. So I think 2-0, they'll be quite happy with that.
Yeah, guys, get your predictions in the chat, and I'll read them out as well. Chris Ross going for 5-0. Liverpool. Yeah, Gary Rich is going for 15-0.
15-0.
15-0. Yeah. Good one, George. Man City 6, Watford 0, Liverpool 5, Everton 0. Be batterings this weekend. Oh, well, don't count your chickens too much, because apparently Pep Guardiola has only won 1 out of his last 4 against Roy Hodgson.
Wow. Beat Roy Hodgson's best ever result, wouldn't it, for Liverpool? Probably.
It would be. It would be. I don't think it's going to happen, because Watford always get hammered at the Etihad, so I think that'll still...
Some games, right, you'd have a bit of hope for. Like, even midweek, I had a bit of hope for Brighton. But this game, I've got no hope for. I'm just hoping that Man City don't decimate the goal difference. I think we're like +5 on them, aren't we?
Yeah.
So like a 1 or 2-0 win, it'd be fine, I think.
Andrew Quinn going for 6-0, Liz going for 5-0, and yeah, George, absolutely agree with you. Watford are complete crap. Yes, absolutely. Indeed. And before we go, we do just have time to talk about Liverpool versus Villarreal in the Champions League semi-final. Steve, we can't underestimate Villarreal. They've managed to get through to this stage. They beat a very poor Bayern Munich, but you have to beat what's in front of you.
And Unai Emery has been to 5 European finals and won 4 of them. We shouldn't forget that. Big news for us is Gerardo Moreno is out injured with quite a serious muscular injury. And that's big news in terms of their creative influence. And obviously we know that Moreno's got a cruciate injury, so he won't feature at all in either of the games. So listen, if you're going to pick results on paper, and we all do it, we're all guilty of it, we should be too strong for them. What they are is they play with the most ridiculous, boring low block you'll ever see in your life. And we struggle with low blocks, or we have historically.
We always have. Yeah.
It's no rite of passage to the final, not at all. But again, I keep saying this because it's true. If we deliver the quality, if we can play like we did against Man City in the first half, there's not a team on the planet that beats us, Doug, and it's certainly not Villarreal.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, some of the players to obviously look out for, I would have said Connor, obviously would have been Gerard Moreno, but Dan Juma's one to watch out. I've been very impressed with him, obviously since his Bournemouth days. And Chuck Wheezy is another one to look out for, because he was obviously the one that scored the winner against Bayern Munich, that obviously took them through. They've got a good, very, very good squad. And another thing that made me laugh is that they're turning to a bit of a Spurs tribute act, because they've got 4 ex-Spurs players in their side.
Yeah, no, they do. But you've already mentioned the 2 deadly threats for them. Dan Juma throughout both legs of the Bayern Munich game, was probably the man of the tie, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think that first leg in particular, for Villarreal and Bayern, I know it only said 1-0, but if you actually watch the game, or watched even the highlights, Villarreal should have at least been 3 goals up on them in the first leg.
100%.
It's the fact that just through luck, it was only 1-0. And like Steve said, you can't underestimate this Villarreal side. They are currently the Europa League winners, or champions, if you want to say it. Unai Emery.
And you're eliminated the Wolf, then well done. 2 Wolves, well done.
There you go.
Sorry, I thought I put myself on mic then. Sorry, guys.
I was like, I was like, hello. No problem. But I think it's the fact that he's been able to take that Villarreal side and be, probably the best European side that is other than both Real Madrid and Barcelona, in terms of that. And yeah, like Steve said, you can't underestimate them. The low block is horrible to play against. And you need the likes of Thiago, Trent, and Robbo to break that through. But of course, Keita as well to break it through. It's lucky as well, like Steve said, no Gerard Moreno. I know Alberto Moreno neither. I think he's going to be out of the game as well.
That's sad. That's sad that Albie's missing. We all like Albie for his get out Manchester United, get out. Yeah, we all like him for that. But Jersey boy, you had the chance to see much of Villarreal. I know that they're not doing very well domestically, but in the Champions League they've been very impressive.
They knocked out Ajax, which I thought were dark horses for the Champions League. You know, Sebastian Haller was brilliant. They were brilliant, and they knocked them out. They knocked out Bayern Munich. But as I said to my friends before, this is a different Bayern Munich. This is not Hansi Flick's Bayern. I think Hansi
Not
Flick's
out Juventus as well, 3-0 away.
I think Hansi Flick's Bayern dismantles Villarreal. But the Bayern Munich can be different. They've got Upamecano in defence. He's awful. They're just all over the place, Bayern Munich. But Villarreal deserve the credit for where they're here, and they're in the semi-finals for a reason. So I think Villarreal are very good. I think will be too much. Listen. I think they'll be way too much. Will be way too much for them. But you know, I'm not going to underestimate Villarreal because you know Emery's. I think he's got a good record against us, so we've got to be careful.
Yeah, we do, and that's something to be worried about, Dan. Is that you know, Emery does have a good record against Klopp.
Yeah, I mean the game I remember was the Europa League final, wasn't it, in 2016 or whatever, when he turned us over. Obviously, that was only the very beginnings of the Klopp era. It wasn't even his team, was it? It was still the Brendan Rodgers team, really, that Klopp had sort of done well to get to the final with. But listen, his record in Europe is basically second to none, isn't it? They won the Europa League last season. They've knocked out some big teams this season. They're gonna be dangerous, mate. And we literally, I just hope. Well, I know the players won't underestimate them because Jurgen Klopp won't allow it. But yeah, could be a tough game. I mean, sometimes I underestimate this Liverpool team because you know. It could be a tough game, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, I am as well.
Sounds like the Wolves have got him, mate, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It does.
Sorry, I'm just on dad duty as well. So I was just my lad was just playing a bit of Fortnite and he shot a wolf or something. Sorry about that.
Oh, bless. Chris Ross has gone for his lineup versus Villarreal. Alisson, Arnold, Kanate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Thiago, Keita, Salah, Jota, Diaz. Does anyone agree with that?
No, I just put Mane in for Jota.
Yeah, I agree. Well, fish
That's
fingers.
A good thing, Chris, by the way. I think Mane through the centre is really aggressive at the moment, and he fancies it. And they've got 712-year-old Raul Albiol who we wheeled out before the game, just sit in the centre in the middle of the box and try and deal with things. But you've got to be really at it against them. We want to win the tie at Anfield in the first game.
Yeah, there's a stat for you. Manchester United are the only team to beat Villarreal in the UEFA Champions League this season in both times.
There's living proof that stats don't mean much, isn't it, really?
No. Benfica knocked out Ajax. Sorry, Jersey. Thanks to Goats Naldo. Yeah, that's true. Games I remember his two most recent visits to Anfield where Arsenal lost 8-2 in total. Yeah, it's true. Hello, Cedric. Hope you're good. Great live stream. Thank you. Boston. Appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of... the only team to keep a clean sheet versus them thanks to Carrick. Yeah, Jesus, Carrick. A lot of people saying hello to everybody as well. So, prediction for the Villarreal game. This is tough because we do have to obviously go away before we have to go away in the second leg. I think we'll take a lead. I think if we can get at this low block, which we always have a problem with, I do think there's goals there to go at, but I do think they will get one. So I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. Steve?
I don't think they score. I think it's 2-0 Liverpool. And then we've got that conundrum of going away with what is Klopp's most disliked scoreline, 2-0, because you don't know whether to stick or bust on 2-0, do you? So it's like it's caught what you do next to get through the tie. But We've got to get them out. We've got to find a way to get them out because as mentioned Albiol before, he's not going to want to play 25 yards in front of the box. He's not going to do that.
No.
They're going to try and hit us because they're quick. They're quick up top. So they'll be looking for the balls, similar to what United do against us, into the full-back channels and try and get runners in behind us. So our offside trap is going to be huge for us, I think. I think they'll play largely on the counter, but I don't see them scoring. So 2-0.
Interesting. 2-0. Connor?
I'm going to go 3-1. Just looking at their last 5 games, they've conceded 3 goals in the last 5. I think they're unbeaten in the last 6 as well in all competitions. But yeah, I think if 3-1, because I think, like Steve said, I think 2-0, you don't know whether or not to go or not. I think, Liverpool, if we can get that, that cushion a little bit with the 3-1, I think that'll be, even though it's still by 2 goals, I just think Liverpool, if you then get that 1 goal then in Spain, I think then that makes life a lot easier than for Liverpool. So yeah, 3-1.
Yeah. 3-1. Jersey boy?
I don't know if I go 3-1, but my head is saying 2-1. But
2-1.
I'm going to go for 2-1. I just have a feeling it's going to be 2-1.
Very, very interesting. And Dan?
I'll play it safe and go for 2-0, but it would not, as I say, we sometimes underestimate this Liverpool team, and it would not surprise me at all. On the light, European night, big atmosphere, we did what we did to Roma.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah,
annihilated them.
Let's hope so.
I would like that. And Villarreal still going further than Manchester United. Yeah, that is very, very true. Villarreal going to be awful to play against 2-1 first leg, which I honestly think could be problematic. Yeah, I do as well. If Villarreal still going into the tie, going to Spain, it'll be going to be interesting. Like the Dangs. Oh, Jesus. No, I'm not even trying it again. Gosh, damn it. Yeah. But that's true. The stats doesn't matter. Seeing that they are in the Europa Champions League at our expense, and they are in the Europa Champions League semis, and we ain't. 3-1 to Cedric. Liverpool 3, Villarreal 0. I reckon we try and end the tie in the first leg. That would be nice. Yeah. Would you appreciate Watford more if they relegated the Blue? Well, they would be going down with them anyway. I actually think, looking at the fixtures coming up, Watford and Norwich are going to be down very, very soon as well. I think Norwich are probably the light ones to go down. Liverpool going to win this 3-1. Ali, Trent, Kanati, Van Dijk, Robertson, Hendo, Fabinho, Elliott, Mane, Diaz, Salah. I don't think Harvey Elliott will start that, but we'll see. 4-0, let's end it before it begins. Well, the last time we played them, we won 3-0. So we shall see. Bless you. Eric Ten Hag has failed before he starts. We need to send Villarreal packing at Anfield. Love you, Douglas. Thank you very much. And agreed, Helen, as well. Guys, it's been another fun one. It's been another fun one. Thank you to everyone who's obviously tuned in as well. Thank you to my amazing panel as well. Steve Plunk, it's great to have you back on, and we need to get you back on very, very soon, my friend. Great to see you as well. And are you actually doing anything out of YouTube or anything like that?
Only Redmen TV, mate, which is weekly at the moment. Sometimes 2 shows a week with them guys. So that's kind of really cool to do that. It's on a much bigger platform, obviously. They've got ridiculous amounts of subscribers, so it's nice to do that. But I'm not averse to pods. People, you messaged me today, and I'm here. So it's. I just don't have a channel anymore, and I don't host anything. So very much guesting at the moment when I do stuff. But keep an eye on what's coming up on my profile if you want to check out what I'm up to.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be it's fantastic to get you back on. It's nice to catch up again as well. Connor, thank you very much. I believe you've got a match preview coming up at 9 o'clock, is it?
Yeah, it is at 9 o'clock. Match preview for the Everton game. Going to be fun because just going to look how bad Everton are and how good Liverpool are, which is always nice to look at. But thank you for having me on again, mate.
Absolute pleasure. Jersey boy, thank you very, very much. What have you and Ryan got coming up this week?
So we've got an interactive watch along for the Everton game starting at 4 o'clock, always half an hour before, and then obviously we've got a preview then on I think Monday or Tuesday or probably Sunday. We'll probably do it on Sunday early. Released a day before the Villarreal game for a 7:30 stream start for the Winter Watch Along on Wednesday.
Excellent. And Dan, your channel has grown, my friend.
Oh, mate, Mighty Dad's television was as dead as a dodo, wasn't it? It was finished. I wasn't ever going to do anything, and then it just so happened to record that new Klopp song. And it took about as long to record as the song lasts. It's about 1 minute. It's about 1 minute to do. And just out of nowhere, it's just gone supernova, mate. I think it's had over 40,000 views now. Problem is, I'm going to follow it up.
I know.
No idea, mate.
You're almost at 300 now.
I know, yeah. Well, you said to me, well done on 100, and then it was 200, and now it's like 280 or something like that. Something crazy. So it's good, mate. But so it's made up. And it's nice to know that I wasn't just shouting into the void, and people seem to have enjoyed it. Yeah, it's got over 40,000 views, gone mental.
40,000 views is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
I wish I'd took a bit more time now and recorded it properly, but yeah, people seem to enjoy it. It's good.
You're very good on the guitar as well, mate. May I just add, guys, the link I've just put in the chat is actually the Everton preview with Tom. So I will literally be back in 11 minutes time. So looking forward to that. But thank you to everyone who has watched tonight's Friday LFC Focus. We'll be back at the same time at 7:00. Probably have Sophie back next week as well, and also Mick Moran will definitely be with us next week, so that's something to look forward to as well. But until then, I will see you in about 10 minutes time for the match preview for Liverpool against Everton with the lovely Tom May. I will see you very, very shortly. Take care. Bye bye for now. You'll never walk alone. Cheers, Reds.